How is everyone doing today? Give me a thumbs up. I muted all of you. Good. I'm glad. Welcome. Welcome. I see some new faces here. It's so lovely to have you on. I know there's going to be a couple more people jumping on as we get going. So I'll try to keep an eye on the waiting room. So I'm letting people in as we come. But I want to get started because I want to be very cautious of your time. We have a ton to cover in this next hour. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I will try to manage them as we go. And then I'm going to leave time for Q&A after we're all done so that if you have any questions as we go through, you can ask them because I'm sure you will. So have your notepad and pen ready so you can write down whatever questions that you do have. If you got the workbook, good. The workbook is for you to kind of, yes, I love it, for you to go through on your own as well. After you learn what you're learning, spend some time in it and to really dig deep into what you've learned and then apply it to the workbook. I have to leave at 35 after. No worries, absolutely no worries. So let's get started. I will email out a recording to all of you who are here today as well. So I'll give you access to that. So let's get going. Let me just make sure I can. Can everybody see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Well, welcome to the Unstoppable You Confidence. Today, what I hope to do is to help you move from a place of why is life happening to me this way? And how can I take control? How can I gain control of my thinking, how things are happening for me, and how can I make things happen in a more smooth and easy, flowful way? Because truthfully, that is what we want. We want more ease and flow in our life. We want more joy. And this is all completely possible for you. So who am I? Well, my name is Catherine Arkema. If this is your first time joining me, thank you. Let me know that too, where you found me. How did you stumble across my page and what I teach? So I am an entrepreneur. I have been for, my goodness, the last 15 years. And prior to that, I spent 10 years in corporate. And when I left corporate, I just knew there was this longing desire to do something on my own. I was a designer. I was a brander. And I had worked for many various companies. I decided to go to my own. And I grew a very profitable business as a freelancer. I had other designers working for me. I had full-time contract clients. And yes, that is the Property Brothers. I'm standing on a box and I'm still not even as tall as them. They are super tall. Did some designing and branding for some pretty big names. And so I had what was established, looked good. I also had what we call a side hustle. I had a network marketing business. And it grew massively. And so things looked really great from the outside. But you know what, guys? Something was still missing within me. And I had a beautiful family. I still do, married, 3 kids. And I stumbled across this gentleman named Bob Proctor. And so if anybody you know who Bob is, Bob recently just passed away, but he became my mentor. And he helped me shift what was going on the inside, this lack of confidence, this yo-yo effect in my life. And he helped me to realize that I actually had control over what I was doing and the results I was getting. But not only that, he opened me up to much more freedom and happiness that I've not experienced before. It's really understanding why things are happening to me the way they are. And I tell you, when you truly understand this, it gives you a sense of control back. It eases something within you. And that was life-changing for me, to the point where I wrote down on a goal card. We carry around these goal cards. And I wrote down on a goal card that I wanted to be a mentor and coach. I didn't actually know that it would lead me to making it my full-time career and helping many, many people transform their lives and helping businesses as well. I work with businesses and transform leadership teams into controlling their thinking, gaining confidence, and getting what they want. So if you've been struggling, this is probably why. Clarity. First of all, we need clarity. Clarity of what you want. Most people can tell me everything that they don't want. They can give me a huge list of everything they don't want. But what I want from you is clarity. And do they find themselves avoiding the work that they know they should be doing? It's called our knowing doing gap. And completely doubting why it's possible. Your why. Yeah, why are you doing it? But not even just why. Where are you going to? Right? A ship knows it can float, but it needs direction. It needs a starting point and an end point. And the why is important to building the emotional connection. So what I need from you today over this next hour, where are you on your journey? Understand awareness is key. Where are you? Are you just starting out? Are you somebody who's never really entered into personal development? Are you someone who doesn't know where they're going, doesn't know what they want? Have you gained that clarity in what it is that actually makes your heart sing and listening to what's inside of you? Where do you want to be? Where is it you want to be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Have you thought about that? And has your last 10 years consistently been the same? So ask yourself, start asking and reflecting on these questions. And will you apply what I give you today if it makes sense? Will you take the chance to change your life, even just working through the workbooks, making the decision to do it for you? But what stops you? What's in your way? What stops you from getting started or stops you from achieving what you want? A lot of us are like, okay, I know what I want. And then we get going and success scares us. Why is that? Well, it's change. If we truly do succeed, if we truly do hit that light, that's going to cause some changes in our life. And that muffles with what we're going to learn today, our paradigm. So decide right now what you're going to overcome, that you're going to overcome this, that you have the opportunity to change your life. And decide right now that you will invest the time and the money and whatever it takes to create what you want. Start focusing on what you want, not the limitations. Because really, what else is there? It's not up to anybody else. It's only up to you. And I say to my clients, the empowerment comes when you take responsibility. When you know you have the power to change, you just have to decide. No trying. Trying means you're not actually doing. Decision. So on this training, we're going to get control of our thoughts and the results they're getting for you. Learn how to reprogram your beliefs and find true confidence that comes from letting go of the fear. How do we overcome that fear? Because it's a huge part of it. So are you ready? I want to know, are you ready? Put I am ready in the chat. Just put ready. I want to hear it. I want to see it. Let me know that you're all ready to get started. Because if you're not ready, then I can't go any further. Ready, ready, ready. Amazing. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get going. Before we start, we have to understand how our mind works because it is what's behind all of this. You have two parts to your mind. You have what we call our conscious mind, and we have our subconscious mind. And in our conscious mind, that's that black and white side of the mind. It's our thinking mind. This is our book smarts. This is where we take in the knowledge. We can accept ideas. We can reject ideas. You may completely accept what I tell you today, or you maybe completely reject it. That's okay. Information is always coming into our conscious mind. You have your five senses: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. They are scanning ever so much in every second, providing us with information. But we also have 6 intellectual gifts that most people don't know about. And we're not utilizing them to our full advantage to create the life that we do want to live. Our conscious mind thinks very logical and linear. It thinks in languages, just like I'm speaking to you today. Have you ever noticed how your conscious mind runs the chatter? It talks to you all day long, and it's whether or not you choose to listen. And its whole goal is survival. Think about that. It's scanning. What do I need to be aware of? What bad things are lurking up? Preparing for the worst. It's survival mechanism. And we also have our subconscious mind, or unconscious. Some people talk about it in an unconscious sense. This is our feeling mind. I like to say, your heart, your feeling mind. It is where our paradigm lives. Our paradigm is a multitude of our habits and our beliefs that have been programmed into us since birth. And they actually hold our genetics. That's why we look like our parents, talk like our parents. And it is what is controlling the show. This subconscious only accepts ideas. It cannot reject an idea. It can only accept an idea that you are emotionally involved with. So it doesn't matter if it's good or bad emotions. It can only accept what you're feeling. And it cannot tell if something is real or imagined. And when I say that, this is true because you can create a story in an image in your mind and it starts to create emotions. If I thought, let's go on a trip, and you started daydreaming about the trip and seeing images of the trip and being on the beach and having all this fun, your emotions are going to connect with that. If I started telling you a scary story, you're going to connect with that as well. This is what movies do to us. They draw us in with this imaginary scene and we connect emotionally to them. It is our auto programming. It's absolutely symbolic. It's our emotional mind. It thinks in pictures, not words, pictures. And its whole goal is safety, which I find so ironic because your conscious mind is telling you all the bad stuff that's going on, or it may be, we need to do this, we need to do that. And it's feeding information into your mind. And your subconscious mind says, okay, I know I need to go make more money. Okay, I know I need to make sales. Okay, I know I need to make a change in my life, but that's outside of my comfort zone. So we're not going to go do it. And so many people experience this because your subconscious mind is your comfort zone. And so to be able to make a change, it has to come at the subconscious level. 96 to 98% of your results are coming from that subconscious mind. Only 2 to 4% are coming from your conscious mind. So you can think all day long about the changes you want to make, but unless you've changed your subconscious mind, you're always going to end up right where you started from. And this is what I was experiencing. And I didn't understand how I could break out of it because I was constantly trying to change things through strategy. I was continually looking for the answers outside of me. I would love to know if you've been in that boat or you're in that boat. Say yes if you understand what I'm saying right now. If you're experiencing that or have experienced that, put it in the chat. Say, yes, I have. Yes, absolutely, Linda. So let's look at this from a different perspective. You have 11 million bits of information coming at you all day long through your senses: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. And it's bombarding us. We're looking at our results that we're currently getting and we're saying, I need to change that. Something needs to change as this information is coming into us. But our mind can't handle 11 million bits of information per second. So it filters it. It distorts and deletes this information. And it passes it through this filter based off our paradigm, our memories, our experiences, our values, our beliefs, our decisions, our past decisions, our attitudes, our habits, behaviors, age, time and space, language. There's a whole bunch that it's filtering it through so that we only end up with 40 to 50 bits of information. You only see what you want to see. You only hear what you want to hear. Have you heard that before? Because it's filtering it through your logic thinking that is based off of your programming, and it's serving you up exactly based off all your memories, past thinking, past experiences. So this is where two people can be in a conversation or witness an experience, and they both have different perspectives on it. Why? Based off of their own filters. Right? One might say, oh, yeah, that was a great experience. And the other person would say, oh, that was horrible. How did you get that? Based off the filter of the information going through our paradigms, through all of this, this is what we're left with. We're left with our thoughts. The conversation starts running in our head and we start playing the pictures based off of old movies, old successes, old hurts. I haven't been able to do it before. No one in my family has ever done it. And so we create same sort of thinking. This is why when we look at, poverty, people who've been raised in poverty continually stay in poverty. And why is it those who are wealthy continue to be wealthy? Based off their experiences, they have created a paradigm of I am what? Wealthy? I am poor. And so they continue to generate the same expected thoughts and actions. And why is this? Your thoughts produce an emotional state in your body. Those are your emotions. This is the vibration level that you feel. You're happy, you're sad, you're hurt, you're guilt, rage, anger. And what do those emotions do to you? Well, they create sensation in your body. They create a physical response. And it's that physical response that leads to our strategies. What's our strategies? Our strategy creates the behavior and more of the same results. So if you've been looking at the results, thinking more about this, the same old thoughts, creating the same old feelings, your body's going to get into action towards the same behaviors. Most of us are down here trying to change the behavior, but it's not the behavior that we need to change. See this door? That's what we need to change. We need to change the paradigm in which the information is filtered out. We need to start thinking different thoughts to create different sensations and emotions in our body so it produces different results naturally. I hope this is making sense to everybody. So let's play a game. If you've been with me before, you've played the lemon game. So I'm going to switch it up. Let's see if this one has the same effect on you. Does everybody know what a sour key is? Say yes. Can I get a head nod? Do we all know what a sour key is? Yes. No, you don't know what a sour key is. Okay, so maybe we'll go back to the lemon game. I wasn't sure if anybody knew what the sour keys are. So I want you to all close your eyes. And I want you to imagine you are in your kitchen. And in the center of the table in your kitchen, there is a beautiful bowl of ripe lemons. And they're gorgeous. They're yellow. They're fragrant. They are so ready. You pick up a big lemon and you take it over to your cutting board. You pick up the biggest knife that you have. It's super sharp. And you slice into the lemon. And the lemon juice just pours out of the lemon. And you take your knife and you slice it yet again into another lemon wedge. And the juice is pouring out all over your cutting board. Now pick up that lemon. You can smell it. And as you bring it up to your mouth, I want you to take a big bite out of the lemon and just suck all the juice out of the lemon. Now you can open your eyes. What happened? Your body responded to an imaginary image. You saw the lemons. They were there, although they weren't there. Your body responded with the strategy and behavior. It's time to make my mouth water. So now when you know that, when it comes to results in your happiness, in your business, in your success, it all starts with the images that you're holding. Your subconscious mind does not know whether it's imaginary or real. But what we do is constantly look at what's going on around us and produce more of the same chemical response. Oh no, I don't want this. Sales are low. My income's not where it wants to be. I hate my boss. My weight's not where it should be. And we keep looking at the same old stuff, producing the same old chemical response. It's like looking at a rotten lemon every single time thinking, why do my lemons never come out? And all you do is focus on the negative. So we need to switch that level of thinking. In fact, your results are a direct reflection of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And this programming is called your paradigm. Other people call it your ego. To change your results, must first change the picture. So this is what is currently happening with the results that you don't want to get. And it can be in any area of your life. Business, professionally, health, money, relationships, doesn't matter. You look at the results and those results cause you to start thinking. And those thoughts are based off the negative results that you're reviewing. They start creating the images in your head. You know, you get a bill due or you don't have enough money to do something. And then you start thinking the worst. Oh no, I'm going to lose my house or I'm going to get fired. And we go to the absolute extreme of the worst. We've got this imaginary picture. And like, I think I heard like 98% of the time, it doesn't even ever produce those, like your bad outcome doesn't even come out. It never comes out that bad. But you are producing a negative result because your thoughts start playing a picture. This picture creates feelings in your body, right? That chemical, emotional, vibrational response. And that leads you into action. So For my business owners, they look at maybe sales aren't where they want to be. They start thinking thoughts of, oh no, how am I going to get them up? They start looking to strategy. They don't feel really good about it. They're doing actions that maybe don't align with them. And it's really hard. So they start avoiding and procrastinating. Right? Or maybe it's our weight and it's not where we need to be. And you start saying, this will never happen for me. And you start thinking negative thoughts about yourself. You start why did I eat that, donut? And you get horrible feelings. And then your actions are, oh, well, I messed up, so I might as well just give in, right? Well, how we need to change this, and we need to stop looking at our current results. Sorry, just letting somebody else in. So we need to stop looking at our current results to change our life. How do we do this? We go to creation mode using part of our 6 higher faculties. We actually need to take control of our thoughts, because if our thoughts are the gateway that everything is passing through, we have the ability to control our emotions based off what we're thinking, even in the face of things you don't like. That is the true test. And that is why people come and work with me, because they're like, well, I've tried to think positive. It's more than just that. You have to learn to create the thoughts that you want. You have to learn how to hold it, focus on the thing that you want. As you do that, it's going to create different feelings. You're going to have, based off your feelings, the actions, the chemical response, the vibrational response. You're going to get into action and it's going to produce different results. So we think about this and we think, well, what if things did start working out for me? I would love it if, put in whatever it is for you and snowball with that. Snowball with the fact that how you'd like things to progress and see how it changes the feeling in your body. And notice that you start to have inspired action where you're like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah. So thinking about the gym, well, I like how it would change my body, or thinking how I could create sales. I love it when my sales go up. I love it when I'm connecting with people. And you start thinking from a positive end, and it produces the feelings that create the action, because the action is just a response to what you've been feeling. And when your actions change, your results will change. So one of my clients, Kim, she came to me and she just couldn't get clarity on what she wanted. Now, Kim has gone way beyond this. She's done amazing things, but she's like in a really deep spot. And when she came to me, she actually was unemployed. And she got really clear on all the things that she desired, which were in harmony with her. And she started thinking about how she would like, what kind of job she would like, what she'd like to do. And the doors opened. She decided that she was going to go after whatever it is. And this was the job that she wanted. Well, the jobs came to her in ways that she had never imagined. I have another client that's going through this right now, where she has multiple job interviews, making thousands, tens of thousands of dollars more than she was in her previous job. She achieved a rank in her direct marketing company at the top 5%. Kathy, she came in and just, you don't even get through, and you just start learning this. And her debt, she paid off all of her debt. Her self-confidence soared because you feel the empowerment back. And she started attracting things back. Why? Because her vibrational energy, her thoughts and her feelings were different. Someone moving from passion compared to somebody who's moving from scarcity have completely 2 different vibration levels, and it is felt. And she was attracting all the things that she wanted into her business. But I've tried thinking positive is usually what I get, but it's not just about thinking positive. It's about your subconscious change. It requires what? An image. It requires an emotional connection, and it requires repetition and a roadmap. If I could add a 4th thing there, it's a roadmap to actually know what's happening and how to overcome this. So we cannot solve problems using the same thinking we use to create them. We have to change our thinking. So your paradigm, this paradigm that's a multitude of your habits and beliefs, is stored in your subconscious. And it also includes what we call our self-image. And our self-image is goal seeking, much like a thermostat. When you turn your thermostat on and you set it to 72 degrees and it gets really hot outside and your house starts to heat up, do you have to go do anything? Or does your thermostat automatically kick on the air conditioning and cool the house down? Right? And vice versa. If it gets really cold in the house, the thermostat kicks on and it warms it up to 72 degrees. Your self-image, which is in your paradigm, is exactly the same way. Your current results are your current 72 degrees. And to change the temperature, you have to change the thermometer. You can't just work harder. You can't, because you'll always go back to the set temperature. So I want you to think about it this way. Flying from New York City to LAX. The plane has a flight path in the way, right? It's GPS located and it's flying directly there. Does it ever go off course? Absolutely it does. There's wind blowing it off course. There's turbulence blowing it off course. And its flight plan looks more like this: on course, off course, on course, off course. But it always ends up at LAX because that's where its set point is. That's where the autopilot is sent to. It's not just a straight line, but it always brings it back on course. And your self-image is exactly the same way. There's your results and there is your paradigm. And you're going along and you have a really great month or a really great week and things go really good for you. Right? Maybe sales go up and you feel great, but without knowing, you take your foot off the gas just ever so slightly. Or maybe you come into some money and things are going good. You've got this money and you notice, you're like, wow, why did I spend it all? Where did it all go? Back to where we were. But then something else happens and you go below, or maybe your sales dip. And then what happens? You work a little extra harder. And where do you end up? Exactly on the same set point as your paradigm and your results. So how do you change that? If it's always, 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 always bringing you back to your set point, how do you change that? You have to create a new version of you so that when the ups and downs come, you're still on the upward climb to where you're going. So even in health, I gain a little weight and I eat really healthy and I lose it, and I'm going along really well and I work really hard and I lose a lot of weight, but then the weight comes back on again and I end up exactly where I was, right? This is how it is. But if we set this new set point for you, this new self-image buried in your paradigm, then you can change your results and you get to choose where this is. That's the incredible part. Both science and theology agree that everything is energy. Spirit, energy, doesn't matter what you call it. Everything, ocean of motion, everything's in an ocean of motion, and you are attracting to you exactly what you're in harmony with. So your feelings, these are words used to describe your vibrational level that you're emotionally connected to. Negative emotions, we call it ignorance, as in just not knowing. We just don't know. We haven't really made a decision on something yet. We suppress this doubt. We suppress the worry. We suppress fear, and it leads to anxiety within our body. And I'm going to show you how this relates to fear and how to overcome fear. And then we have this positive emotion. Well, those are high level vibrations. We express it. We actually cannot help but hold it back with faith and joy and gratitude and leading to creation and being in flow. And I'm just on fire. Who has felt that? When you felt this incredible, just things are going so good for me, and you just keep going and going, going. You just can't hold yourself back. Well, same thing happens with the results we're getting. It's your mind-body connection. Your body follows the beliefs of the subconscious mind. So if your conscious mind is only getting 2-4%, don't beat yourself up all the time. It's not about subconscious mind. It's about the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. So because your body follows these beliefs and behaviors, your current paradigm will attract to it everything that it's in harmony with to help you get you to your destination point, that pinpoint, good or bad. You are attracting even negative situations so that it brings you back down, so that you're in line with what you should be producing. But you are the only one that can change this. I can't change it for you. Your partner, your spouse can't change it for you. Your best friend can't change it for you. Only you have this control. It is producing your results. The conditions, the circumstances, and your environment reflect. So we start off by thinking. We create thoughts in harmony with what our paradigm is. It's our logic. We create these thoughts and it comes into our conscious mind and we think them and we mull them over and they pass through to our subconscious mind because we get emotionally involved with it. Oh no, things aren't working out for me. And because of that, it produces the reaction and the behaviors in our body. And so then when we go out to take action, law of attraction and the law of cause and effect give us back exactly what we're in harmony with. Does water attract to oil or does water attract to water? You attract more of the same. Like attracts like. So when you're in a bad mood and things don't go right and you feel it, it's like the day can't get any worse. People say that, right? It just kept getting worse, kept getting worse, kept getting worse, kept attracting more things back. I had a season of my life where everything just went wrong. Where was your thinking at that time? You know, your results are actually just a reflection of your past thinking. That's it. That's it. When you come to understand this, you have the control to change it. But when you're in a good mood, ever notice how things just keep getting better? Oh, my day was amazing. Oh, and this happened and that happened. And you can feel people's vibration. When somebody is in a negative mood and they come into the room, they don't even have to say anything. You feel it. Vibration is felt. So even within your business, within your professional life, within money, because money is energy too, you attract back to you what you're in harmony with. And you have the ability to change that. So how do we do that? We want to create a new picture of what we want. We need to start seeing the good of what we want first. That'll stir the emotions. The more time we can consciously hold that image in the face of adversity, the more we're going to get emotionally involved with it. That emotional response is going to create what? Behavior change. It's going to create new results because your behaviors are going to change. Now, did I say go out and force the behavior, or did I say change the image to create the behavioral response you want? Right? Most of us are looking for the strategy to fix the problem without ever changing the paradigm. And nothing changes until you change the paradigm, which is right here in your subconscious. You start your conditions, your circumstances, and your environment change based on what you're attracting to you and the actions you're taking. So when Heather did this, she grew her business effortlessly. Heather actually attracted $40,000 within the first 4 months of working with me. She paid off her debt. And one of her biggest things was the impact she's making with her family. She's got 3 beautiful children, and it's impacted her family. There's a testimonial that she has on my website where she talks about the legacy of what she's learned and how it's impacting her kids. And maybe you're in a point where you're like, that's not professional for me. I don't have a business. I just need to change something that's going on within me. Nancy came to me. She ran a business, but she actually had a bit of an addiction going on. And she was in a really down place. She had been fired from a job. And by letting go of everything she didn't want and getting really clear on what she wanted, she went back to school. School was completely paid for. She first landed a job. They saw her value. They sent her back to school. She landed a full-time job within the company and the organization. And she was building her dream home, living with her house and her spouse and her 2 boys. She changed her life, not even within a year's period of time. I think the most change came within the first 6 months. So how do we let go of fear when we actually start thinking, is this possible for me? Can I make these changes? How do I gain that confidence? I can see I need to change the picture of what's going on, but that's scary because I don't know how to do it. Well, let's understand where you're at. You are in bondage. So you are thinking X-type thoughts, and those X-type thoughts produce X-type vibrations in our body, the emotional response. And because of that, we're producing X-type results. Our actions reflect that of which we've been thinking and feeling. And that's the results that we've been getting. So what happens when those little antennae, there are senses. What happens when you start picking up on new ideas? Maybe somebody comes to you with an opportunity or a new way, a new business, or a new way to earn some extra money, or a new job that you'd like to do, or maybe you're going to go back to school, and you start thinking about what it is you want. It's fine as long as it stays up in your conscious mind. Remember, it can accept or reject it. It can say yes or no. The problem arises when you think about it and it starts to make sense to you. What happens is that new idea you start to get emotionally involved with it in your subconscious. But what's your subconscious paradigm saying? That's not who we are. Who do you think you are? You can't do that. No way. We have too much debt. You can't go back to school. You didn't go to school for that. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough, and all the reasons why. So it starts off, you start worrying about it because you're actually in conflict. You have your old vibrational way of being, and you've just implanted something new that goes against it. And what happens? It creates up this cascade of, it first starts with worry, fear, and then leads to anxiety. This is what happens when people start a new business, or they start going towards what they want, and then they know, I can't do it. I can't do it. Why? Because it starts to feel really uncomfortable. You have a conflicting vibration going on in your body, and you hit this wall of fear so hard, and you bounce off of it. And where do you go? Right back to your comfort zone. It didn't feel right. I just felt really anxious about it. I don't know. There was some really bad signs going on. No, you literally just had a conflict of vibration. When people are about to make a huge change, maybe sitting here and listening to me, this is resonating with you, and you're starting to feel the conflict in your body because you're like, this makes sense. And I know it, because that's how I felt. And I was like, but I don't know, because all my conscious mind was telling me all the reasons I couldn't. My paradigm was saying, no, no, no. But I was like, yes, I know this as truth. So you have a choice. You bounce back and you stay where you are. You keep getting the same 10-year, 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 10-year on auto stamp. You end up exactly like what your parents did. It's the same old, same old. The same gets the same. Or you break through the wall of fear. You understand when you feel that, that's actually an indication of breakthrough and freedom. That's actually the indication that everything I want, the old saying, everything I want lies on the other side of fear. It's true. It's understanding that it's a conflict of vibration. And this new idea you have is actually leading you to more good things. But the first thing comes, a decision. A decision clears anxiety. You make the decision. I'm going to go back, right? I'm going to bounce back here, or I decide. And once you make a committed decision and you go through, you change your vibration. And what happens when you change your vibration? You start attracting new conditions, circumstances, environment, and results. This is why people, when Heather came to me, she actually said, I don't know how I'm going to afford this. I don't know how I'm even going to pay for this. She put her first month down and manifested $40,000 within 4 months. Committed decision, changed her vibration. All the things that were already in line with her in harmony that she was blocking started coming to her. Kathy was $15,000. I've had so many people say, I don't know. And once they make the decision, amazing things start to happen. This is Michelle. She was one of my very first clients. Actually, I think she was my second client. She was filled with fear. She was a commission-based full-time job. Although she worked for an organization, her sales were commission-based. And she had no idea how she could increase her income because she was working like a dog. And she thought, my dream would be to double my income. She was making 6 figures. My dream would be to double it, but I don't see how that's possible without even working even more and not having a life. And I'm so filled with fear that it's all just going to leave me tomorrow. Within 6 months, she doubled her 6-figure income, and she let go of fear. She now recognizes when fear comes up, she just lets it pass through her. There's no avoiding it. You take witness to it. You're aware of the emotions, but you don't fall victim to the emotions. And she's continued to climb. Her clients went from being very small clients and lots of them to very big clients. And the referrals started coming from nowhere. She never worked harder. She just continued to hold the vision in her mind, and everything else changed for her. So any idea held in the mind that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, feared or believed in, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. Andrew Carnegie was considered one of the first billionaires of his time. He taught Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill taught Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale taught Bob, and I've mentored under Bob. So let's get down to something probably most of you have never seen before. The understanding that you are vibrational energy, that everything is vibrational energy. Our phones, I had my phone here somewhere, is actually a frequency. And for you to be able to call me, you have to dial into that frequency. But what we didn't really realize at first was there is unlimited frequency. I'm actually a frequency, and so are you. This is how I can think a thought and be thinking about something. And maybe I think about my sister, and then all of a sudden she calls, and I'm like, "Hi, I was just thinking of you." Or maybe it's like, "Oh, I would love to go out for dinner tonight." And my husband comes home and goes, "Hey, do you want to go out for dinner tonight?" Or maybe you're wearing the same color clothes. How many of you have kids and then, all of a sudden you look at each other and you're all wearing the same color outfit? We actually think on these frequencies, and we're all connected. And your goal is also there. So here you are. This is where you are, and you can only see how you got there by looking backwards, right? Hindsight 2020. You can only see where you got by looking back. But I tell you to hold a new vision, and you say, "But how?" All of my clients are like, "But how is it going to happen?" No, your job is not to figure out how. Your job is to hold the belief. And when we do that, when we go up here and we start thinking about what it is we want, because there is a place, we just don't know how we're going to get there. We don't see the lines yet. And most of us are looking for the strategy to create the lines. That is not what you should be doing. Because if you're just looking for the strategy, you're looking at the same results. We need to start thinking differently. Your results and your thoughts are down here on this frequency level. You are thinking in your X-type vibration, and you're creating X-type results. But your goal's up here. That person that you see making 2 times more income, or starting their own business and having it successful, or increasing their income, or having that perfect body, they think differently than the person who is thinking of them. They think differently than where you are now, but your thoughts are down here. So how do you get up there? You need to make a decision. That's it. A decision is all you need. I am doing this. And once you decide, then the how starts showing up for you. But what happens? We don't go that far. We make the decision, I'm going to do it. And then that terror barrier strikes and we go, after I find the money. And then we go, oh man, I should have done that. I'm going to go do it now. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going to go lose the weight. I'm going to go get a new job. I'm going to go approach that chicken lister. I'm going to do it. And then the terror barrier hits again and we fall back down. All the excuses come up. And watch yourself. Watch how this happens to you. And you'll know that you haven't made a what? A committed decision. You have to commit. I am doing this. I have no idea how it's going to happen, but I commit to it. Faith, belief, I'm doing it. And your thoughts that are down here will start to operate up here. Your mind and your thoughts must operate on the same frequency as your goal. You need to start creating that self-image of who is this person? How would they think in this situation? How would they react? What would they feel? And when you go through the process of developing a whole new self-image, because it's not just about seeing that shiny star out there. It's not. It's about embodying that belief that's already within you. Whether you know it or not, that person, that desire, that goal is actually in you. It's a desire that wants to be expressed. And when you uncover it, the way you think is going to start to change. Where you may have thought, I don't know how it's going to happen. And then next thing you know, you find yourself operating on a whole new level. Inspired thoughts start coming. The more you are on that level, the more the solutions come. You must think and act like the person you want to become. And it just doesn't mean dressing up in a certain way. It means a vibrational connection with it. And you all have that within you to change your paradigm, your end goal. It's not done through change and force of behavior. So does this work? Only if you're ready and committed to changing. That's it. You've got to want it. That's the only prerequisite to change, is you've got to want it. Make that committed decision for yourself. And who is this not for? Let's just first say this is not for somebody who's looking for a quick fix at all. Doing it for somebody else to impress somebody else, nope, it's not going to do it, because you're not going to be able to hold through. Or doing it for something that you don't actually desire. That won't help. And you're not committed to change. You're kind of like, yeah, I'll do it a little bit here and there, Friday, Saturday, maybe. No, this is a commitment to change. You're looking for a cheap option. Maybe you're still in the YouTube and the book stage, and that's okay. I was there once too, until I wasn't actually changing. And all the time I wasted could have been spent in my end goal. And investing in yourself is not a priority. You're just not used to spending any kind of money on yourself. You don't see yourself as being worthy of it. But who is this absolutely for? You're done struggling. You're like, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. You're ready for the change. You know you're worth it. Maybe you've done work on yourself before, but you are so ready for more because you've done the strategies, you've done the ABCs, and you're like, no, I know it has to start within me. This is for you. And if you're like, I do not want to regret a year from now, 2, 5, 10 years from now, I don't want to keep doing the same old, something's got to change. This is absolutely for you. So if you are one of those people that is on that this is for me, then I would say book a consultation with me. They are a half hour, they are free. We can figure out if this is the right fit for you and how to make that work for you. So you can either go to catherinearkema.com or you can go to Catherine Arkema at Calendly and book your discovery call there. I can drop it in the chat as well, the link. And so now I'd love to open it up for you to ask me questions. What is it you need to know to help you get to where you need to be? So who has questions? Who would like to jump on the hot seat? Who wants to know? All right, let's go.
Is that okay if I come?
Yes, let's go. Yes, absolutely.
I wondered, some people want the structure, like what you said, having the picture or having the structure, the ABCDs. Yeah. Is there, by heavens, is there not a compromise between the two? Because I still have to do some steps ABC.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful point. So your ABCs are going to come in even stronger when you have the belief that supports them, right? So I will say this, most people already know what they should be doing. I would guarantee you already know what you should be doing. But the reason why you're not maximizing the results of it is because of behavioral on the inside. So when we change that, the strategies that you know and have been using will catapult you forward. Yeah. Yeah. Does that make sense? You even become more effective.
Because then you actually have the big why you're doing it, right?
Yes, that's right. And the vision of the person that you see doing it is different. So you hold a different vibration. When you actually connect with that new vision, that new paradigm version of yourself, that inspired action, that person that you see, that you hold in your heart, that motivates you to go take those actions. Like that list, I actually, in the program, there is daily tasks. Like, what is it you're doing today? What are you moving towards? And even that intention of writing it down. So the law of cause and effect comes into play here. So when you hold a vibration, vibration is just the frequency we're on. And then the law of attraction is attracting back to us whatever we're in harmony with. But there's also the law of cause and effect. So whatever action you take in vibration held is going to cause a like reaction attraction back to us. So this is the cool part. Wyona is one of my clients, so she can attest to this, where when you take action, I say to my clients, you have to take the action, you have to do the work and go out and do some things. But you'll find what will happen is holding the vibration and doing the actions, going out and taking actions, your results may not come in direct correlation to the exact action that you took. But because you took the inspired action, it does attract back to you. And so a lot of clients are like, they end up like, oh, it came. It just didn't come how I thought it would come. But you're opening up yourself to receive it because you're on a whole new vibration level with it.
Mhm.
Does that answer your
A lot
question?
of sense. Yeah, I have had experiences like that. What my other question would be, do you also deal with the pains that we still have in the subconscious mind, of the healing of the old trauma, past, recent, or long past? Because this is what I find with my clients, they need a lot of work there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you go through specifically through this program, we don't have you look at the past. We're having you project onto the future, because a lot of times what people are doing is living in the past. They've spent their entire lives living in the old trauma and feeling the old trauma and rehearsing the old trauma and habitually being in the old trauma. To break the cycle, we need to create a new story for themselves. So personally, I do also do NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which deals with past traumas. So I have one-on-one clients that will book in with me to help them release through memory, past traumas, if it's really deep and there is something there. And I also have suggest out to other people and refer out if that is needed to help them to get to that next level. But when you start focusing on a different story for yourself, then the way that your results have been showing up for your life will change, because a lot of times we're just trapped in the old memories and the old programming and habitual habits of those old stories we play on repeat. So we need to break them up, that cycle, to start producing new. And when that happens, the old stuff comes up. It's like, no, I'm not going there anymore. I'm done with that. It's a change in belief. And Wyana's like, yes, because she's gone through this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Tammy, got a question?
Yes, thanks for talking about the past. I don't feel like I'm living in the past, but I do understand the power of the pull of the past.
Yeah.
Where I'm at right now is I have everything that I need. Okay. I know that I have everything that I need. I know where my here is.
Yep.
What I don't know is where my there is. How do you, and whenever I listen to Bob, when he was teaching, that's exactly what I would ask the screen again, was how do you find your there? Because I would love to reach higher, but, and Wyona can tell you this, I struggle with where's my there, because I understand the process of what you're saying, because I did follow Bob, and I understand that it would be great if it just started happening, because I'm doing all the things. At least, I mean, I've got some really great mentors, but I don't have my there.
Yeah. And so that there can't come until you have it. And that's part of the process that we work through, is that isn't our there in our head here. Wait, let me read that again. Unmute there. So isn't our there in our here and now, only when you embrace it. So our there is there when we embrace the there being our now. So you have to, Tammy, for your there, it's about developing and understanding what your true desire is. So I'm going to use myself as a prime example for this. I didn't actually know what my end goal was, because remember, I was stuck, but had a great income and I had great businesses, but something was still missing on the inside of me. And when I first started into TIR, I was like, oh, I think it's just more money. So I just put an income down, and I want to grow my network marketing business some more too. And so that started happening because why I was focusing on it. Right. So that actually started to happen. But like most people who maybe don't know their truest desire when they enter, this happens without fail. They go, oh, it happens usually around 6 months. So the program is actually 6 months long, but I work with people for a year. I want them in the program for a year. So as they go through, they get that 6-month mark as they kind of went through and they see things happen. And then the true desire comes out. And they're like, I finally know what it is I want. For some, it happens quicker. And for others, it can take a bit more time, because as you go through this process of setting these goals, of knowing your end destination, of developing this about yourself, you're going to uncover things, and your true desire is going to come up to the surface. And when that happens, then you have your there. Then you truly have your there. And when that happens, it's even more magnetic. So for me, started here, grew, that's used thinking results to grow. But what happened was I realized my true desire, and was coaching and mentorship. So what I loved about thinking or my network marketing business was that I was mentoring other people. And when I realized that, I put it down, and I actually didn't see myself as a mentor with Bob. I just thought, oh, this is what I love to do, is to help people, to help them grow, to find this diamond within them. And I put it down, and within like 4 months, boom, all the doors started happening for me. And I left my career, replaced my income, and grew my coaching business. That was my true heart's desire. It was like I found my purpose. And so there's that uncovering part that happens for you, but it's never an end goal. So now that I've reached that, what happens is my star becomes even bigger. I got to move it up so then I continually grow, because your end goal is all about the progressive realization of a worthy goal. It's about growing into something that you're currently not, so that you can change your results. So we put the goal out there, but you may find that evolves and changes, especially as you discover what it is you desire. And you start thinking outside of your current consciousness. When you start thinking outside of your paradigm, some people find it really difficult at first. They can't imagine what life will be like out there, because why? As children, we're not taught to use our imagination after a certain point. We're taught to shut down our imagination. I was a creative, so I was allowed to use my imagination, right? But even that was put in a box, because I was only supposed to imagine certain things within a certain parameter. And people will tell you, oh, don't imagine, or you're daydreaming. Who do you think you are? Imagination is your tool, your gateway to the next level for you. It's a gift, and we don't utilize it. Everything is created first in the imagination and then is held in the hand. The phone, flying, internet, everything. This jewelry, somebody first imagined it in their mind, and then they decided to put it together. So this is why it's really important to understand and utilize these tools we're given. Any more questions? Tammy, Dana, thank you so much for your amazing questions. I really, really appreciate that. So if there's no more questions, oh, Wyona, come on in.
Okay, I don't have a question, but forgive me. Okay, I got emotional a minute ago because I was remembering the woman that I was before I started working with you. So thank you. And see, look, just saying it puts a lump in my throat. You know, I'm a big softie. But but I do want to say that, you know, I am going to be turning 59 years old in a couple months. And to think that the freedom that I feel right now and the way that I feel excited about life and excited about knowing where I'm going. And there's like a knowing of all these positive things that are happening in my life and that I see coming together like never before is just so moving, you know. And so I just want to thank you for that. And I'm going to get off here because I'm getting all tender again, but I'm so appreciative to you and for your insight and for your guidance and for all your wisdom, you know. That's it. Bye.
I love you, Wyona. That's so beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. So if you are now sitting at this place where you're like, maybe I need to chat with Catherine. I believe I dropped my calendar link in there. Feel free to book a call, and I will be sending out an article on confidence for you all to read and to mull over. And I wish you all the best in prosperity, and just know that you have the potential for so much more in your life. I truly, truly just want to impress that upon you, that anything is possible. So have a great day, guys.